We've seen the policing over the years. And of course, it mainly falls on non-white athletes. Whether it's hair or head coverings, the discrimination is endless.
16-year-old Nicole Piles says her hair was braided with beads and tied in a bun like she'd worn it in previous games when an umpire told her she had to either remove the beads or sit the game out.
A teenager in North Carolina says she felt humiliated when she had to cut her braids to stay in a high school softball game.
16-year-old Nicole Piles, who had already stepped up to the plate and hit a double, faced ejection by the umpires in her second at bat unless she removed her hair beads.
Actually, I had the braids in for 4 games prior. That was the 5th game. But on that day, April 19th, I did play a full inning. I had hit a double because I'm top of the lineup. We were leading at the time when they had brought it up at the top of the 2nd saying my beads were issued. So my team had took some of the bands I had on my ponytail, right around the bottom, and stuffed them into my sports bra. Then I went out to go play and got our 3 outs, and then I came back in to hit again. Then this is when they say, well, the beads are a safety issue, it's a rule, so I had to take them out. So they said either you take them out or you sit out. And so I made this decision that I was going to remove my beads and I was going to play my game.
It's a plague in sports that must cease.
I want to recruit nobody with locks like mine.
It's not that we don't recruit them, but we make it very clear that once they get in here, they're not going to have their hair that way.
Yeah, but that's kind of like basically saying like you're not going to bring nobody in with hair like mine.
Probably not.
From collegiately to the pros, it's affecting everybody, which brings us to Diaba Konate, a basketball player from Paris, France. She's played collegiately at Idaho State and UC Irvine. She too is being discriminated against. From The Guardian, she's banned from playing in her home country simply because she wears a hijab. In short, the French Federation of Basketball prohibits the wearing of any equipment with a religious or political connotation, which discriminates against Muslim women in headgear. Secularism in France has restricted those wearing religious attire from entering many official public institutions, including the sporting arena, in a continual drive to separate religion and state. With the Paris Games starting in July, the French Federation of Basketball's ruling has drawn fire from around the world, with critics saying that it goes against the spirit of the Olympics and sports in general. Athlete.org would quote her as saying, "I love basketball, my family and my faith. It would break my heart to give up any one of those. And yet, that is what the current French Federation of Basketball guidelines are forcing me to do." 83 athletes, including Natasha Cloud, Brianna Stewart, and Julie Foudy, would sign this open letter, which reads, "Dear Jean-Pierre Suitat, CEO of the FFB, and Andres Zaglis, Secretary General of International Basketball Federation, we, the undersigned athletes, urge the FFBB to overturn its current policy banning religious headwear, which openly defies international human rights laws and standards by disproportionately impacting and targeting observant Muslim women and girls. In 2014, FIFA overturned its headscarf ban, and in 2017, athlete Ally and Scherzanon successfully advocated for FIBA's headscarf ban to be overturned. This marked a critical milestone in guaranteeing access to sport and fighting discrimination, opening the doors for millions of women and girls in Muslim-majority countries to enjoy access to sport. However, the current FFBB ruling blocks that very same access and defies the principles of equality that led to the FIBA reform. Enabling Muslim women and girls to participate as they are in sport does not threaten public safety, nor are there any reports indicating this causation. On the contrary, excluding a group of people from sports simply because of their religious beliefs and practices goes against the Olympic Charter, which affirms that access to sport is a human right. We will not allow the sport we love to be weaponized against Muslim girls and women. In her life, her inspiration is Bilkis Abdul Qadir, whose struggles and determination deeply impress her. Bilkis made NCAA history by being the first hijab-wearing player in collegiate basketball, but in 2013 she had to sacrifice playing professionally in Europe because of the FIBA ban on headgear. She tirelessly fought it, and it was eventually overturned in 2017. Basketball has long been a powerful vehicle for inclusion and equality, said Terry Jackson, executive director of the WNBPA in the U.S. All athletes should be able to both practice their faith and the sport they love, and we will continue to fight until they have the opportunity to do so. From Human Rights Watch again, since the French Federation's rules were introduced, exclusion of Muslim girls and women have increased, even in youth and recreational leagues. Young players are facing uncertainty, anxiety, and even public humiliation as they are sidelined on game days, the Alliance would say. Many have stopped playing altogether. It has been almost 10 years since FIBA lifted its ban, opening the door for millions of Muslim women and girls to play, said Minky Warden, Global Initiatives Director at HRW. The French Federation should act now to ensure that all women and girls can experience the community-building, education, and economic advancement opportunities that the sports world provides. If you can, support the network. Go to tyt.com/join to keep us afloat. And if there are any stories that we have missed on this medium of TYT Sports, get at me and follow me. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Appreciate your suggestions.